Greetings to all my black brothers and sisters all around the world. Give me real great joy and pleasure to be out here with my feet in the dirt, no shoe on my feet, and with the running of the stream right next to me here, and me being out here in nature. And this place where I'm standing is a place I normally would come and meditate, because it's just about say 5 minutes away from where I live. And it also gives me more freedom to speak as loud as I would like to speak, because where I used to be doing my videos and so on, you know, my last experience, someone came around and was complaining about me speaking loud, and it was not the first time. And let me say this, that I will not stop going there. I will continue be going there to do my adoption yoga. And I want to say also, because that place is a place that the royal family from England normally come and do a ritual, and I know it's a ritual, but the people in my country will not believe, okay, and they will think it's just coming there to plant a tree. And that particular area is like the heart chakra of my country, and much people doesn't know about it, and our ancestors was very much connected with that place. So I know what is going on there, so I'm not ever gonna stop be going there, okay, but I feel free to do all of these other videos out here and be even more connected, being bare feet and all of that. And if I want to take off, my clothes, I can take off my clothes. I want to feel free. Okay? Now, with that being said, I want to ask a very important question. And this is the question I want to ask. Are Rastafarians homosexuals? And the reason why I'm speaking on Rastafarians today, it is because I've been asked to speak on Rastafarians, and I would find myself from time to time always getting a lot of things with Rastafarians, because I'm trying to show them certain things, and they fail to realize the seed from which they've been bought it from, and they fail to understand the divine law of reproduction is that every seed and every species will all reproduce after its kind. I did a book on that called Can't Be Proven Wrong, and for those of you who listen to me, I'm asking you to just be a little bit patient. Because it's me alone, I have to put those books, you know what I mean, even though they're small books, together and so on, and to get them up and going so you can get to read. Okay, and I would have done a DVD concerning the mystery behind Haile Selassie also, and it is because I would have said before, someone would have asked me to speak about Rastafarians. Okay, so it's not like if I'm trying to target Rastafarians or I have anything against Rastafarians, because there's a particular Rastaman who always say that to me, like if I have something against Rastafarians, right? But I'm just trying to show them that the amount of negative vibes that they've been pushing, and then they come back and bow to the very same system and kissing ass and all of these things. Okay, now, the reason why I ask the question, are Rastafarians homosexuals? It is because Rastafarians have been pushing so much negative energy towards homosexuals and fail to understand that one cannot become a homosexual without it first being a thought, or one cannot be a thief without it first being a thought, and that the creator is not Haile Selassie, but the creator is our own human imagination. And that no Rasta man in this world can tell me of one thing in this world that wasn't first imagined, or one thing that wasn't first a thought, and one thing that he's wearing that wasn't first imagined, or wasn't first a thought, and the money that they are using, it wasn't first a thought, and the money that they are using, that it doesn't come from the homosexual and the lesbians and the drugs men and all of these other people. Okay? And when we go to the supermarket, anywhere we go and we use money, we do not know where the money comes from, or whose hand it has passed through, or how much blood has been shed. Okay? So, and then when we look at what many homosexuals have done in society, they have done more things to help society than those who are spreading hate against people based on whatever life they choose to live. So my whole point is, why I'm asking the question, right, is that because of my experience that the consciousness in which you live here and you die in that consciousness is the same consciousness you will be experiencing over there. Okay, and because I know who I was in a past life, and I know this is not just one life we live. If we haven't finished the journey, we have to come back and complete the journey. And whichever consciousness you die in, that's the same consciousness you will hold. You understand what I'm saying? I'm asking myself, could it be that they were homosexuals in a past life and they die never forgiving themselves for the lifestyle they would have choose, and they come back here to facing themselves because the world is a mirror and they just can't face themselves, and every time they see a homosexual, they've generated so much hate against them and generating so much negativity, and we have a generation of young men growing up having such resentment against others out of, I would say, stupidity. Because when I walk down the street with my woman, the homosexual don't curse at me and call me names, or curse at them and call them names. But if they see homosexual, they call them names, they'll chant them, they'll say all of these things. And I'm saying all of that is negative vibes. And then the Rasta man want to speak most consciousness. And then not knowing they're suffering from a disease called parasitism. And they have to chase the seed of the origin. And they're always contradicting the very thing that they're saying. They're talking about nature and all of that. And they would not take off all of their clothes and go in nature and live in nature and finish with money and live off the land. And I always tell them, whenever you do that, then I will join you. Because you can't be speaking about Babylon in the way that they speak about Babylon and the way they speak about others. And they're not free in their mind. And they like to talk about Bob Marley and the Wailers. And Bob Marley sing a song that says that you must emancipate yourself from mental slavery. And none but ourselves could free our minds. So what I'm saying, homosexuality is a weapon against the weak for you to corrupt your mind and get caught up with what others are doing and use negative energy and negative vibes and speak negative things towards them. And that is why they have never had any great impact on our society. Just recently I was telling Rasta man, how could you say that marijuana is a part of your religion or part of your belief system, yet you want to go in the mountain and plant 5,000 pounds to sell, to buy a ride, or to build a certain home? And when I start showing him that kind of lifestyle has caused a lot of violence in our society, he started getting angry with me. He don't want to accept the truth. So what I'm saying, if you're going to use negative energy and use negative words, because remember, if you go to the sea and you look at the ebb and the flow of the tide, what goes out and what comes back in, and what you sow is what you would reap. And I wouldn't like to express my life in another life cycle as a homosexual, so I refuse to speak against them. But many times I ask myself, if these men, especially in St. Vincent and in Jamaica, if they were homosexuals, and let me place here to get a glimpse of themselves and to accept their lower self, because the homosexual is your lower self. The Caucasian in his greedy mentality is your lower self also. And I remember one time I was on my computer and I happened to find this guy from Jamaica named Muta Baruka was speaking. And he was speaking of another Rasta man who burn fire and playing and all of this and that. Yet this man is a recorded artist, and he wanted to go and travel, and he wanted to go on a boat. And like Muta Baruka was telling him, it's the same thing. And then Muta Baruka, like he was showing them how ignorant they could be, yet he's a Rasta man too, you know. And he was saying that everywhere he go to, I think was to moderate or MC a show, this particular person was burning fire and touring and so on and all of that. And then he explained that when he went to Africa, the people had nothing else to give him. And they were basically almost like worshipping him and so on and giving him gratitude for helping them in certain things and in certain ways. And as a sign of respect, they place the touring on his toe, and he said, because they have done that out of gratitude and so on, and respect for him, he wasn't going to take it off. And this man was there burning fire. And I want to say that there's so many of these Rastafarians have gone to prison out of ignorance, and have placed so much money in the pockets of lawyers. And he can't see that it takes ignorance for one to be a homosexual. It takes ignorance because it all is unnatural. Okay? It's unnatural. It takes ignorance also for someone to want to take a cutlass and chop up someone because of some maybe weed or some drugs or the other, which I'm not saying that weed is a drug. I'm not saying that it's a herb. Okay? Or to take a gun and shoot. The other is all ignorance. So sin is basically ignorance. So if you're going to speak against homosexuals, you have to speak against all the ignorance in society. You have to speak against the Rasta men who beating drums for tourists. When they come on the cruise ships, at the cruise ship boat, and come and they beat drums for Selassie grandson when he came to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and there's a politician brought him here. And they have to stop kissing politicians' ass and stop sucking on the rum battle. There's so many Rastafarians in my country who have turned back and sucking on the strong rum battle. They have become alcoholics. And many of them are kissing politicians' ass. Just recently I was speaking to a Rasta guy who wanted to speak all kind of consciousness to me. And while he was speaking to me, a man came to him and tell him like this. You know, I had a talk with the PM, which is the Prime Minister he's talking about. And he said, we can't just ship it away, so we have to make it medical, in a medical way and all of that. And I meet him back someday and show him, because I didn't say anything at that time. It's all stupidity. So many of them go in prison for it. Innocently because of herb. Because everybody's saying it, they're not guilty. They're innocent. Okay? And now they're encouraging those who want to take it and put it in a pharmaceutical way. Yet they're saying that they're people of nature and Rasta man have to do about nature and this and that. So, I'm still asking the question. Because Rastafarians that make so many songs off of homosexual and make so much money by selling their music, it seems that they cannot survive or they cannot come into abundance with all the homosexuals around them. So if they're gaining so much from homosexuality, I'm asking the question, are Rastafarians homosexuals? Were they homosexuals in a past life? Because it is time enough for us to end all of this stupidity. Who want to be gay, let them be gay, that's their business. Who want to be lesbian, let them be lesbian, that's their business. If you can't just stick on your consciousness, stick on elevating people, stick on lifting up people. Let us raise up our people to be more wise. Let us raise up our young men and young women to be more wise, to be more thinking, to be more productive. From the smallest child these days, they're born in Batty Boy. And they realize you're using what you sow, what you reap. You're using negativity against another. That's their lifestyle. I don't give a shit. As long as they don't come and try to bring their stuff to you, if they bring their stuff to me, I put them in their place. And in my country, a man don't want to be seen sitting in the front of a vehicle in the public transportation. They don't want to be seen sitting in front of a vehicle next to a man, but they rather go in the back of the van or in the back of the vehicle where there are 3 and 4 other men sitting. It's ignorance. You have to get rid of all those ignorance. And all these Rastafarians who shooting all of these shit. Mean what you say and say what you mean. Pack up everything and go and live in the mountain and live off of the land. Then I might come a Rasta man. Because many of them used to be telling when they hear me speaking, oh, you should be Rasta. When I start railing my head, they tell me about Rasta. And they're eating all kind of bread. Baked with lard and butter and all of these things. So, I still ask them a question. Because ignorance is ignorance. Sin is sin. And many of these Rastafarians are so much involved in politics. And there could never be no legalizing of homosexuality without there be politicians to put these laws in place. And when you go and you mark an X and vote and get involved in politics, you're supporting the very thing. So, when I was showing this Rasta man, that one, as long as you become a Rasta, I call yourself a Rasta, a Muslim, a Christian, whatever, you're accepting limitation. He don't want to believe that. Because he could change the laws of the universe. He could change the law that says that every seed and every species will reproduce after its own kind. He can go out in the land and plant pumpkin and reap watermelon. He could plant mango and reap pumpkin. So, my brother and my sisters, and those of you who listen to me, let us get rid of the ignorance and let us learn to think more positively. With that being said, I want to thank you very much for listening to me, and I want to give you my sign as usual, the sign of the one eye, Matthew 6:22. If your eye be single, your whole body be full of light. With that being said and done, I want to say peace. I'm out. Love you.